All right. And we are rolling, everyone. Hey, Landon. The podcast is now started. We're going to need you in here. I call my brother in here because he's late to the first podcast. Possibly the most important podcast of all time.
Who is we? It's you and a camera.
I'm talking to the viewers because you're late to the first ever podcast. What do you have right there? Why do you have a bunch of money?
So I was counting it, and you interrupted me. So now we're going to do your silly talk show, and I'll count it.
This isn't just a silly talk show. This is... Why do you have a bunch of... Where'd you get all that money from?
Let's go.
Boom. Most of you guys already know that you're watching a video right now, and you're going to see when it's going to be uploaded, and it's going to be Monday. Today is Money Monday, and as you can see, money is possibly quite one of the most important things that you should be focusing on. And that is not to say that family, relationships, and, purpose is to be replaced with money. That's just saying that money is very, very important. You're gonna need money in life. So, in the first ever episode, we're gonna talk about...
Probably money. That's probably, yeah.
Probably money.
Probably money.
So, if you're watching this, you need to understand what is money. Money is a piece of paper or a little number in your bank account. Now, this piece of paper, it's made of mostly linen and cotton, and you have to make money in this world to survive and to participate in the economy and the, social aspect of the world. And there's correct ways to go about it and incorrect ways to go about it. We'll go over that later. But here's the thing with money, is that you must have money to participate in this world. And before I dive deep into all the aspects of making money and everything like that, and business and all that, I want to first explain money is not the root of all evil. The attainment of money can definitely bring evil. A lot of people will be on the search for money, which is a little piece of paper or a number in their bank account. They'll chase money and do it in ways to where you're screwing someone over or you are hurting someone in the process. Either whether you're selling a certain powder on the street or you are promoting a bunch of music onto mainstream media that people listen to paint a picture in their head, and you're not, teaching them the right things, or you rob someone or mug someone, or you scam or anything like that. You need to avoid all of these quick get-rich-quick schemes and understand that money is made by providing value. You must provide value. You must help someone to gain money in today's world. A lot of people complain about not having any money, and they start finding ways to attain it in devious ways, which is what we want to avoid. Now, we want to make money, which this guy is the absolute mastermind behind making money. So, why don't we start talking about how money's actually made? What do you provide? What kind of products do you sell, or what do you do to actually get money in, and how do you find the money, pretty much?
If you're a young person, it's honestly great that you have all the time in the world on your side to figure out what you want to do. So from a young age, I guess we can just start going through our story.
Yeah.
It was freshman year of high school, and so we would go down to the flea market. We're in Ohio, so we'd go down to Cincinnati. We would buy close date or slightly expired candy for $4 for $1, and then we'd go back to school and sell it for $1. And that was my first taste of money. We'd be on the bus, and they would we'd just be counting up the cash, and we'd make $50 profit in the day. We were just over the moon. I remember we'd just be sitting there in the seat counting it, and all the kids would be over watching us count all of our money. So that was cool. Then we did that. And
I do have to say that with the whole candy business, he is the one that actually started that. He got it going. But then I started selling energy drinks, and around this time he wasn't in school that much. He was doing more, advanced things, doing a lot of college classes. I didn't really care too much for school at all to participate in classes or anything. We're very different in that sense, but we kind of, he wasn't there to sell the candy anymore. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to start selling candy. So I was selling candy, doing pretty well, made an Instagram page, everything about candy. People would message me and meet me, after class for candy. But then I'm like, what if I start selling energy drinks? Because I love energy drinks, and one of the things I was thinking about was, if I start selling energy drinks, I can make pretty good money. Because what do people like? They like energy drinks. They like caffeine. People are drinking coffee almost every morning. They bring in these Starbucks coffees, right? So I'm like, why don't I start selling caffeine? So I go to this store. I think it was Ollie's, mate. Was it Ollie's or no? It was just some random
Bargain Hunt.
Yeah, it was Bargain Hunt. It's a Bargain Hunt. I don't know if you're from like LA or any like big city, I don't know if you're gonna know Bargain Hunt. It's a little tiny store that sells stuff for extremely cheap. I went to Bargain Hunt, bought energy drinks for $1. It was Bang energy drinks, and I would buy those for $1 and then sell them for $3. So I was making more money from that, $2 profit on each can. But then what I started doing is I figured out a way to actually increase the number of sales, because there's only one of me. I can't go around selling, to everyone. So what I started doing was I started to recruit sellers that would buy from me for $2. When I'm getting the caffeine, I'm getting the energy drinks for $1, I would go and sell it to them for $2, and they'd go and sell it for $3. So pretty much I ran how do I want to say it?
Just call it what it is. It's a multi-level marketing
It's
scheme.
a multi-level marketing scheme. They were getting it from me, and they were selling it to other people, and everyone had energy drinks. I was making pretty good money selling energy drinks in school, and it eventually got stopped because they made a new rule that said you can't sell anything outside, the cafeteria, and they said caffeine's dangerous. That's besides the point. Even though they were selling Coca-Cola in the cafeteria, which has 90 milligrams caffeine, that's besides the point. Look, I'm not the most principled student, but yeah, we pretty much had that story. That's how we first actually started making money, was candy and energy drinks.
Yeah, and then freshman year we had literally a whole semester where it was like literally just write a business plan and like from start to finish build a business. And we honestly haven't used that until like this year. Like any business that we start is literally just go and do it, and then figure it out if you need to. If you need to talk to the bank, then get a plan together. So yeah, we did that, and then so I graduated high school. I was going to go to flight school, but I turned that down to be a commercial pilot, and then I went straight into business. And my first one was one of my biggest failures so far, was an RC company where like you would set up a track at a birthday party and like let people race around RCs. Great idea, but one, I didn't know what I was doing in marketing at that point. It was pretty bad. I'll just call it what it is. And two, RC stuff is expensive. That's the reason it's not done. I remember it was like October, November. We were out and we had like a private contract just to let him run for 2 hours for somebody, like an event.
Yep.
And one was like on fire in his hand. That's where we knew like it wasn't going to go well. So
Yeah.
we liquidated everything. At that point, I also started another business because I wanted to diversify early, and that was a toy and comic book show. So an event where we just rent out the venue and then sublease those spaces out to other people, and then use their money to attract attendees. That sounds kind of complicated. We have a lot more that we can talk about in detail, but I've done that. That's successful. We have 5 shows. We created a show in Springfield, Ohio. Then we grew and we went out to Eaton, Ohio. That's our big show, 50,000 square feet. We now have Findlay, Ohio, about 20,000 square feet there. And then we founded a show in Columbus, Ohio, like just north of it, Polaris, if you guys are familiar. So we've dropped into kind of the big city too in Columbus. So then that did well. And then last year we needed a tax deduction, a Section 179, which we can talk about what that means later on. We needed a tax deduction. So down the road from us was a car wash. Just perfect timing. We had exactly what we needed for the down payment. We have since paid off that car wash very aggressively. Like we both Brad and I, we live on like beans and rice. Like because we want to. Because every dollar that we get has to be reinvested.
Here's the thing. I'm going to expand on that. So most people in life, you get money, right? Most people get money. So here's the thing. You have a box, a large box, an income box. Then you have another box, a smaller box, which is an asset box. Then you have another smaller box under that, which is a liabilities box. So what happens is when you get the income, and that's a box where there's just a set number. So it's just a set number in that box. So you're making maybe like $2,000 a month, working, a job, 9 to 5, whatever, or you're making money, doing whatever, on your own, entrepreneurship. So that income is a fixed number. But here's the thing, with the boxes, you have the asset box and the liabilities box. Now here's what most people do. They have that set number in their income box of say like $2,000 per month. So what they do is they immediately take that money and they put it into the liabilities box. Netflix subscriptions, a bunch of junk food or eating out. What else? Help me here. Cars is a very, very big one. Trying to look flashy, to provide for the ego.
Events.
Yeah, events, a lot of concerts, etc. Stuff like that. Very expensive nowadays, especially. Anything else? Big ones?
That's all the major ones. I've been bad about events recently, but
it's memories. You have to know your budget.
But it's also I get stuff cheap. Like I'll go on Reddit and I'll like find a halfway sketchy person and be like, hey, I'll give you $20 per ticket.
Yeah.
And like that's how I do stuff. But yeah, we had the event business and then we had the car wash. And then now we're starting a new business, which I can't really say. We have contracts signed and lined up that I can't talk about anything for probably actually a week. A week from now, I can talk about stuff.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty exciting. We're going to document everything. And this is sort of a jump start to get us into recording and actually getting comfortable with making videos to where we know what we're doing, how to publish and everything. I don't know where this video is going to be posted, but we are going to start posting our whole documentation, our whole journey with everything, because it's going to be cool to look back in like 10 years or so, 5-10 years, and actually look at how our mindset has changed, how everything has changed. So yeah, I think it'll be pretty cool if you guys want to hit that sub button. If you're already here, hit that sub button. The journey is going to be pretty exciting. So. And I want to give you guys some free game as well. We both want to give you guys some free game as well. Pure value of, knowledge that we've learned over the years. I read hundreds of books. This guy's went through hundreds of tribulations, trials and errors. He's more of the doer. I'm more of the thinker almost. Would you say that?
Yeah.
Because I like reading the audiobooks. I like reading the books. I like talking to a bunch of people about, that are in certain businesses. So we kind of work hand in hand. But we want to give you guys the game about just how to overall accelerate your life to where you're actually living a life of pure bliss, because a lot of people can get trapped up in lives that they don't particularly enjoy, or they fall into traps of debt or fear or stress, and we don't want that to happen to anyone. So that's why we're here.
And this is pretty mellow us. If you guys watch later on, it's going to get fun.
Yeah.
This is just the basic introductory, icebreaker stuff. We've got a lot of thoughts, so subscribe and watch these next videos, and it's going to be a good time.
Yep. Hope you guys learned a little topic about money. We'll be talking about more topics. If you're here, let us know in the comments what you want us to talk about, whether that's money, whether that's investments, whether that's anything in regards of the mental or mindset aspect of things, or fitness even. We're both dialing on the fitness as well, learning quite a bit with that. So ask us anything, even with social constructs like social dynamics. Ask us anything, and we'll be able to help. That's what we're here for. We're gonna record all these videos in just unfiltered, pure, raw talks. So ask us anything. Drop a comment below what you guys thought of this video and what you want us to talk about in the next videos. Anything else?
Adios, amigos.
Adios, amigos. Buenas noches, buenas tardes, buenos dias. We don't speak Spanish, do we? No. Yeah, we don't speak Spanish. Why are we talking in Spanish? Alright, see you guys later. Hit that sub, hit that like. It's the first video. We'll see you guys later. See ya. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. What do you think?
Was it bad?
Should we cut this, or should we keep this in?
We should probably just...
Why are you looking in the mirror? Let's just keep this in. Just keep it rolling.